Hi there, and welcome to another guided healing meditation for today. Please ensure if you're driving, please do not listen to it. If you're under the influence, please do not listen to it. These are active healing guided meditations. They're protected by the light. I welcome you here to join me with this, and let's see where the meditation is going to go for today. I'd like you to find yourself being into a find yourself into a comfortable or an ideal position, and simply take a few moments out of your day there simply to unwind. Find yourself into a comfortable position, uncrossing your hands, uncrossing your feet, closing your eyes and taking in 5 deep breaths. And with each breath taken in, feeling more and more grounded. With each breath taken in, feeling more and more relaxed, and feeling your shoulders dropping, and allowing oneself with simply being present and being within the moment with this. And I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye with having a large silver plate. And on the silver plate, I'd like you to seriously empty out whatever's been occupying your mind. Anything from today, anything from the past month, anything from this year for the past several years, whatever it's been. There's no judgment, there's no blame. It's anything involving whether it's work, family, finances, whatever it may be, and place it onto the silver plate, and you're welcome to bring out as many silver plates as required. And when you're ready, watching these silver plates rising higher and higher into the vastness of the universe until you no longer see it. Imagine yourself walking through your garden, sensing and feeling the fragrance and the smell of your garden, and feeling the breeze, feeling the wind going through the garden, and towards the edge of your garden, walking up the set of stairs up to the door, guarding your own private island. In the doorway, there's a key. Taking this key and unlocking the door, stepping into your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. I'd like you to invoke and invite your doorkeeper, your guardian angel, and thanking this one of many guides with keeping you protected throughout the day and throughout the night. I'd like you to take a couple moments here, as this is your private island, this is your private sanctuary, and no one is allowed here without your expressed consent or permission. This is your home away from home. And with this type of a meditation, this is a place where the healing is facilitated. I'd like you to find yourself making your island being at home, whether it's bringing in your favorite recliner, being on your favorite couch, or simply being on your favorite bed with this. And anything else here that you'd like to add to your island. As you're reflecting here and getting your island situated, simply reflect on what is it that makes your life very, very special. And for whatever happened, with there being no judgment, with no blame, is there something from the past that was either missed or intentionally bypassed that requires having one's attention with us now? As you make yourself at home here, I'd like you to invoke and invite your younger self, your young inner child, and giving this inner child both a hug and a kiss. And as you gaze into the eyes of this inner child, you look behind those eyes, behind that smile, or behind the facade. And you ask your inner child, how happy is this inner child? Behind the illusion, behind the mask, behind the many masks, what is with the inner child that they're not happy with? There is no judgment, there is no blame. What is it that your inner child's been desperate with being free from? I'd like you to give this inner child both a hug and a kiss, and thanking your inner child for being here. I'd like you to invoke and invite your identical self in the light. Your identical self in the light is the identical version of you, simply living the positive experience, being the positive version of whatever we're living here within this earthly realm. That includes any of the negative or the negating physical experiences here. Give your identical self both a hug and a kiss, and thanking your identical self for assisting you throughout this guided meditation. I'd like you to invoke and invite your master guide and guides from the light, and whether you see these guides or not, simply acknowledging and thanking your guides for being here. Your guides, they've volunteered with being here throughout this lifetime, and they volunteered to assist you with getting back on track with whatever happened. Part of their mission is to assist one with getting back on track, and specifically to clean up the old files from the past, to get one back into alignment, and to get one back in alignment and connection with one's soul. And it's not a small task with this. For today's meditation, I'd like you to reflect on the following with this. Your master guide and guides, they have set up here on your island a larger size TV screen. And whatever needs to show up, I'd like you to just simply watch and observe whatever's going to be showing up here on your mind's eye. Make yourself comfortable, and I'd like you to reflect on the following here. With time and money set aside, what is it? What is that one thought or that one negating feeling, or maybe many feelings? What is it from the past that's either been holding oneself back, or is there a feeling of either regret or not having a closure with? And it could have stemmed from a simple argument, or from a tiff from many years ago, whatever it may have been. There's times when the castle comes down, when whatever's built is no longer functioning anymore, sometimes the whole thing needs to come down. And this is an earth-based school ground, and within this earth school ground, the soul's chosen the well-chosen parents, the well-chosen country, the well-chosen religion. And there's going to be a thing called emotional human experiences. And what the soul's asking for is, please do not be stuck by it. And as you reflect upon this, ask your inner child, or ask your identical self in the light, what was the one thing that deep down inside from your past that you had either regretted, or if there was a resentment towards it, or if there was a grudge? What was the one key thing that deep down inside, more in particular, what's the one thing deep down inside you wished you had the guts to tell somebody, and instead of talking about it, instead of expressing it, you want them holding it in? What was the one thing you wished you had the guts to tell somebody something, especially after the incident, when everyone was gone home, and then 2 or 3 hours later on beating yourself up over it? And especially if there's any negative or negating feeling with this, or this feeling associated with self-criticism. With there being no judgment and with there being no blame, what was it that's been built all this time? And perhaps to find out that a lot of it was either artificial or built on a pile of lies. I'd like you to hear me on this. Simply reflect on it. There's an expression, from the ground up. What was it that from the past that was either swept underneath the rug? What was it from many years ago emotionally that was swept underneath the rug? And not only from this lifetime, but from many other lifetimes and was never dealt with, or that was never addressed. As you ask your identical self and you ask your inner child, what's been this one thing that's repeatedly shown up over and over, specifically within this lifetime, as whatever's occurring in this physical lifetime is pretty close to a repeated experience or a recycled experience from many other past lifetimes. That one's been doing the same thing over and over again and has either never dealt with it, either bypassed it, felt stuck with it, or it's simply not been given the time yet with acknowledging it. Ask your inner child and ask your identical self in the light. Was it a fear of stepping forward? Was it a fear of leading? Was it a fear of being in the front seat? Was it a fear of tapping into one's own gifts and then being in denial of it? Was there an inherited feeling of either feeling being pushed around or dealing with the sensitivity of it from having a good heart? And especially when the trust was placed with somebody deep down inside that you either admired, loved, respected, and then later on only to feeling either side-blinded or betrayed by them. And however high we may have placed them on top of a pedestal, looking back on it now, do we still have that same point of view? What was the one thing deep down inside that's been on your chest for many years and you wished you had the guts to tell somebody exactly how you felt about it? Whether it was feeling exploited, taken advantage of, either feeling used. Ask yourself, growing up, was there any self-doubt? Was there any contradiction with this? Either contradiction with oneself or contradiction with others, or dealing with the hypocrisy with whatever happened at home. For many, it's a very, very attainable goal and a lofty goal of attaining one's freedom. And attaining this freedom, including this stability, what was the one thing that was either affected with the feeling of loneliness, back with the feeling of self-doubt, and what was the one thing that you really needed the freedom from? Is it freedom from negative people, freedom from negative circumstances, freedom from one's negative thoughts? What was the one thing growing up where, say from a young age, somebody wanted making somebody else feeling guilty in the family? And then from that experience, bending over backwards and people-pleasing everybody else. And especially if somebody else is sitting comfortable, and from that experience, either feeling the resentment with it, either feeling resentful, or deep down inside, wondering, what on earth do I do to get rid of this? As you look into the eyes of your inner child, ask your inner child, where's this feeling coming from? Either involving whether it's the abuse of trust, the loss of trust, especially if there's a loss of trust in oneself and with the universe. Where's that inherited feeling? Where's this gift or the many gifts that's inside that while I'm being abused as an inherited feeling coming from many other past lifetimes? As you look with your identical self in the light, reflect on it with the power, the money, and the achieving recognition. What is it on the inside that requires either being dismantled or taken apart to find out where is this tiny feeling coming from? Whether it's the abuse of power, abuse of money, and where was any of this poverty consciousness stemming from? Ask yourself to identify, where is this stuff coming from? Is it coming from mom? Is it coming from dad? Who is it from the family that gave you that feeling? Is there a feeling from a young age, or is the fear of being seen? Or if there's a feeling of either self-sabotage or the fear of being recognized by somebody else and fear of being recognized in front of one's own peers, and then self-sabotaging the whole thing. What is it from childhood that you've been having a really tough time with forgiving, especially for oneself, with forgiving one's own past, and whether it's with the feeling of either feeling mad, angry, or sad? As you gaze back into the eyes of your inner child and with your identical self, what was it like stepping into the wall of the unknown? What was it like stepping into the wall of fire? What was it like walking through those pins and needles, or the fear of breaking the eggs or the eggshells on the floor? I'd like you to think about this for a few moments, as there's a relevance with this. We are here not only as a human being, we're here as a human soul and being, and for many souls here, many of them are been disconnected from their own soul. And if the big issue with humanity is being stuck with these type of experiences. What was the one thing from childhood? What was the one thing where either one felt stuck with? And simply, this is the most important part, is having the awareness of it. What is it now today that you're willing to drop, to release, and give yourself permission to say, I don't need this crap anymore? What is the one big thing in your chest, whether it's felt in your heart, felt in your solar plexus, or felt within your throat? What is the one thing deep down inside you wished you had the guts to say, I don't need this anymore? At one point, everything needs to, for those that are merging from the 3D into the 5D, we cannot bring the old version of with us into the new 5D consciousness. And there's many levels to this. I'd like you to simply reflect here for a few moments. Reflect with whatever's been shown and flashed in front of your mind's eye. And thank your identical self and thank your inner child with assisting you with this. I'd like you to take a few moments there, talk with them, and I'll be back with you here in just a moment. I'd like for you to thank your inner child and thanking your identical self in the light with assisting you with this. With there being no judgment, with no blame with this, from today going forward, what's the willingness and what actions is a person willing to take to let go of the past, giving oneself the permission to let go with whatever happened, and taking or being willing, and with the willingness of taking a chance on oneself without the approval or without the consent from somebody else. You're going to be surrounded here with your master guide and guides from the light. And with the assistance of your identical self in light, they're going to be assisting you with releasing any of the cords, files, and feelings with whatever's shown up for today. And I'd like you to take in 10 deep breaths. And with the first breath taking in, simply holding it or breathing in, holding it. And then with the purifying exhale, I'd like you to breathe everything out. Taking in another deep breath, holding it. And with the purifying exhale, I'd like you to breathe it all out. Ask you guys, what is it on the inside that's got to go? Or ask yourself, what is it on the inside? What pillars inside, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, then the spiritual pillar, what is it on the inside that's either soft, mushy, or the experiences talked about, what is it on the inside that's soft or that's not strong? What is it that needs to either collapse, be dealt with, healed, acknowledged, and then having the guts to rebuild it on a brand new foundation? Ask yourself, what were all the emotional masks? What were all the masks worn throughout all those years? With there being no judgment and no blame, ask your master guide and guides to assist you with releasing any and all of the emotional masks and assist you with releasing any and all of the emotional entanglements stemming from the family, from the culture, from the religion. And you're going to be going all the way back to the inner child. Ask your guides with the identical self to assist you with this on your behalf. Going back to the inner child, going back to the fetus. Where are these soul contracts, where are these soul agreements stemming from? And ask to have the cords, spells, and feelings with mom and dad placed into the field. Ask your guides with your identical self and light to assist you with not only these cords, spells, and feelings from this lifetime, but ask to have the cords, spells, and feelings and any of the emotional entanglements stemming from this lifetime and from the many other past lifetimes where a person's been repeatedly stuck with the same issue, and ask to have all of the ancestry placed into the field with us. Reflect on it. Where was it? Whether it was from this lifetime, this is the most important one because the past lifetimes are irrelevant. They came and went, and unfortunately, whatever happened there, the soul contract never got honored properly. So in this lifetime, we're all back here to repeat the same thing until we learn or graduate from it. What was the one thing that involved either with there being no judgment or blame, whether it involved either with chickening out, with either failing to have taken the personal ownership or failing to take the personal responsibility. And for the big one for humanity, dealing with the stuckness from the ground up, how stable or how rotten was the foundation, including with the sacral chakra. Ask your guides, ask your identical self in the light to assist you with releasing any of the cords, spells, and feelings associated with the energies with us. I'd like you to take a few moments here and simply reflect with your inner child, or simply sit and reflect with the feelings that are felt. For many, it's going to be either as a feeling. For those that can see, reflect on with whatever's being seen or with whatever's being shown. And for others, it may be as a feeling, either as a feeling of warmth or coolness, or feeling the lump in the throat, or whatever's been felt in the chest for many years. And thanking, simply taking it with a moment of acknowledgement and thanking yourself for having the guts and the willingness with letting it go. As you're surrounded here by your guides and light, I'd like you to take in another 10 deep breaths, and you're going to be showered in an avalanche of the golden light with God's source creator, and you're going to be showered with a pillar of silver light coming from your soul. Allow yourself of being showered in an avalanche of the golden light and silver light, and allow yourself of being showered with a pillar of this light. Allowing this golden light and silver light entering in from the top of your crown, down from the top of your crown, chakra through your brow chakra, through your heart, through your throat, then through your heart chakra, down through the back of your spine, down through your solar plexus, down through your sacral, down through your root chakra. Allow yourself being showered with another pillar of the golden light and silver light, allowing this divine energy as it enters from the top of your crown, down through your spine, down to your base chakra, then coming up to the front of your being, and allowing this golden light and silver light to continue with dismantling and releasing any of the emotional entanglements and with any and all the stuckness. A major reason for physically showing up here in this earthly realm is to deal with whatever's here in this physicality. The soul cannot release these emotional feelings in the spiritual realm. This can only be done while a person is physically here. This is a major part of physically showing up in this earthly realm. I'd like you to take in another 10 deep breaths, please. And allowing yourself being showered in this avalanche of golden light and silver light. And if there's anything on the inside, whatever it may be, if there's any tenderness, if there's any areas on the inside where you're having the awareness that, hey, this needs to be addressed, give yourself the permission with channeling this golden light, this healing light, and allowing whatever's on the inside, focusing that energy on the area and allowing the energy to dissolve whatever's there. Equally, with taking one's own personal responsibility, personal accountability, and ownership, reflect on it, and then from today going forward, what better choices or what better decisions or actions can one take to remedy this? Allow yourself being showered in this avalanche of golden light and silver light, and then radiating this light out in all different directions. Radiating this light outside of your being. Radiating this light throughout your home. Whether it's the living room, the bathroom, the bedroom, the kitchen. And if you're commuting, whether you have a car or a vehicle, or if it's a bicycle, wherever you're commuting with this, and then continue radiating this light several kilometers or several miles away from your home in all different directions. If there's anyone on the inside that you're aware of that's either been a headache to deal with, I'd like you to call upon God's source creator with the universe and ask the universe, or with God's grace, with sending you light on your behalf and not using your own light, but thanking the universe and thanking God's source creator with sending light on your behalf for whoever it is that may be occupying your mind, occupying your life. And if it's no longer assisting you with this, set the intention with having the light sent to them and then reprioritizing it with what is it in my own life that I require to address or deal with. With your palms faced open and upwards, be open with receiving, with the golden light and with the silver light, being open with receiving with God's grace, with God's blessings, being open with receiving any of the healing, any of the uploads, any of the downloads coming from your soul, being open to receiving any of the positive lifting chakra energies, being embodied with the higher dimensional energies, being embodied with higher emotional energies, being embodied with higher frequency energies, being embodied with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pillar with God's love, God's joy, and God's peace. And being open with receiving with your light being and soul, being open to receiving any of the uploads, any of the downloads, anything that you require being embodied with, reflecting on it, and ask that it's embodied within your heart, core, and soul being now. I'd like you to give your identical self both a hug and a kiss, and thanking your identical self with holding and embracing the hug, and embodying and feeling the energy transfer from the positive version of yourself, embodying the positive uplifting energies, being embodied with the positive emotional energies, and thanking your identical self with assisting you, with guiding you or assisting you with any type of a solution, with any formal type of guidance, and with being shown or pointed in the right direction with whatever it is that's occupying or whatever requires being dealt with right now. Thanking your identical self in the light. And I'd like for you to give your inner child both a hug and a kiss. What word or what promise can you give to your inner child? What word, what actions, what promise can you give? What actions can you show your inner child with you moving forward, with assisting your inner child? And what can your inner child do to assist you moving forward with your own life? And giving your inner child both a hug and a kiss. I'd like you to give your master guide and guides a round of acknowledgement with immense amount of gratitude and thankfulness, thanking your guides from the light with assisting you throughout this meditation for today. Thanking God, Source Creator, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thanking one's light being and soul with this. I'd like you to set the intention that embodied with every day, embodied with the divine energy and the divine frequency, being a great day, being a beautiful day, and being open with receiving all the good, whatever it may be, embodied and locked in through one's own heart, core, and soul being now. Ask with whatever it is on the inside, that whatever it is, whatever form of guidance you require with this, with being shown or being pointed in the right direction with this. Write it out, express it with the universe, connect with your guides, express it to them, talk to God with it, and being open to receiving a solution with it. And the most important part is assisting oneself with this. And when you're ready, saying goodbye to everyone, thanking everyone for being here, walking back to the door, guarding your island, and thanking your doorkeeper, your guardian angel, with keeping you protected throughout the day and throughout the night. Taking out your key and unlocking this door, stepping out from your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. Walking back down the set of stairs, back into your garden, and throughout your garden, picking up a flower or two, and whenever you're ready, gently moving your hands, moving your feet, opening your eyes, taking a deep breath or two, and welcome back. I thank you for your time for today with this. Please take the time, if you require, take a rest, take a nap, or go to bed at an earlier time for the day. Have yourself a glass of water or two, and simply reflect upon whatever has been shown today. I thank you for your time for today, and if you're liking this, please share this video or like with Emotional Soul Healing. I thank you very much for your time for today. Have yourself an amazing day. Thank you.